Welcome to today's episode of The Leadership Journey. I'm your host, Joey, and today we're talking about a really important topic. How do you get started in a leadership role at work? Well, whether you're new to leadership or looking to step into a higher position, we're going to cover some simple steps to help you navigate that transition and build your confidence. Stick with us. Well, one of the biggest questions I get is, where do you get started? I have many people that say to me, I've been applying for management and leadership roles, but I just simply don't get them. And I don't understand why I'm not getting promoted at work. Well, let's start with step one. Lead from where you are. One of the biggest misconceptions about leadership is that you need a title to be a leader. But the truth is that leadership starts well before you have manager or supervisor in your job title. Begin by demonstrating leadership qualities where you are right now at work. So how do you do that? Well, take initiative on projects, offer solutions to problems, and at the end of the day, it's all about helping others succeed. I think one of the biggest misconceptions as well is that we are so wrapped up in trying to make ourselves look good for a leadership role, when in fact the way that you look good is by helping others succeed. This actually shows your team and your boss that you're ready for more responsibility, but you're not just in it for yourself. That's a huge takeaway here. Write that down. I promise you that will get you many places to start. All right, well, let's move into step two. What is step two? Well, simply said, step two is developing key skills. Many great leaders have a toolkit of essential skills. One of those skills is communication. That's huge. Another is problem solving. How about emotional intelligence? I have a whole podcast on emotional intelligence. And when you really start to hone these skills, it's what that building of that toolkit looks like. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to learn and to improve. One of the biggest things that we could do as great leaders as we develop and hone in those skills is to seek feedback. Another thing is really getting into reading leadership books, because you're going to find something in those books. There's so many tips and tricks and great, good practices from other leaders. Not every leader is the same. And that's the beauty of it, is that you create your own leadership style. You create and build and mold your own leader and how that looks like for you. And the other thing is really attending workshops. One of the biggest things that you can do is to join some of these organizations, some of these not-for-profits, and just a lot of these organizations that are very specific to the industry that you're working in. It's really, really important to attend workshops and to look and seek those out. Education and making sure that you continuously educate your mind and develop your skills is what's important in this toolkit. The more you invest in your own growth, the more prepared that you're going to lead effectively when that opportunity arises. And it will come. It just has to come in its own time. But using these skills is going to get you there a lot quicker. Moving on to step number three. What is step number three? Well, that's building relationships and gaining trust. Leadership, I just said it earlier, is all about people, working with teams and working with people. It's all about inspiring and guiding a team towards shared goals. To do that, you need to trust. So building strong relationships with your coworkers and demonstrate empathy is one of those ways. You have to be the person that others come to advice for or for support. When you are seen as an approachable and trustworthy person, you'll naturally begin to be viewed as a leader. There's so much to be said here about building relationships and gaining trust, but at the end of the day, it's really simple. Be there for people and inspire and guide people, and be willing to do that. There's so many of us that this is going to be a very sore spot because we don't know how to trust. We also don't know how to let people into our circle. And that is going to be one of the barriers to building leadership skills and really building that toolkit to being a good leader. You need to bring those walls down, and you need to learn how to build relationships and gain trust so that others can then in turn trust you to support them and to build them and to make them feel safe. Moving on, step number 4. Well, here it is. Ask for opportunities. Don't wait for leadership roles to fall into your lap. Seek them out. And I talked about earlier about applying for positions and really trying to get promotions in line. Well, here's the thing. you sometimes have to it's not about just the application, because at the end of the day, you're doing exactly what others are doing at the same time. They're all literally filling out that application and hoping for somebody to call them back. Don't wait for that. Seek them out. Talk to your manager or HR person about your career goals. Let them know what you're interested in. Let them know that you're interested in leadership. For all you know, they just think that you're happy in what you're doing. But again, ask what the steps are and what you can do to go through that career ladder. Many places do have some form of succession plan or career ladder in place. And so finding out what that is going to be one of your biggest stepping stones to make sure that you're getting to where you want to be. You might be surprised that at the doors that open, when you ask for what you're looking for and when you show that you're ready for that challenge, these doors may become open for you. You just need to simply learn how to knock. And here we are, folks. We're at step number 5, embracing that learning curve. Let's just remember that there's not one step into the leadership role that you're just going to walk in knowing everything. It's great when you get to a certain point where you feel like you're very diligent in what you're doing. You're very knowledgeable in all the things that you've learned so far. But there's never going to be that one step into leadership where you just know everything. Leadership is a journey. It's not a destination. Let's say that again. Leadership is a journey. It is not a destination. You're not just going to get there and stop. And it's really that journey, whether that's that journey to get there, there's also going to be a journey coming back. And so that's later on in our retirement and kind of when we're at the peak of our roles, something we're going to talk about in another podcast. But here's what it is. It's okay to make mistakes, ask for help, and grow along the way on this journey. The key is to stay open to learning and to adapt as you go. Well, that's it, guys. So to recap, the best way to get started in a leadership role is to lead from where you are, develop key skills, build trust with your team, ask for opportunities, and embrace the learning curve. By following these steps, you'll be well on your way to becoming the kind of leaders that others want to follow. Thanks for tuning in to The Leadership Journey. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading.